G'day grade 8s, welcome to sequence 6, Sustainability of grade 8 HASS. Before we start, let's just revise a couple of key terms, concepts, vocabulary. Again, are you comfortable with using terms accurately such as migration or internal migration? Are you comfortable with what push factors and pull factors means? Can you describe and explain what population density is? These are kind of the key words, the key concepts you need to understand. Livability and sustainability. I'll give you a definition of sustainability in a tick. And also, it's not just the concepts and the vocabulary that we're interested in, but as you've worked through some of the other sequences, you'll see an important part of geography is also being able to study and interpret data of statistics and understand data from graphs and things like that. So make sure that you're getting more and more comfortable with those sort of things. So keywords, key concepts and vocabulary, and then key skills such as graphs, data, statistics. Um, as we move through the sequence, you'll see the learning intentions are to understand the concept of sustainability and develop knowledge of current and future sustainability practices. So if you were to Google a definition of sustainability, you would see something like this: the ability to be maintained at a certain rate or level. So to sustain something is for it to be able to be maintained at a certain rate or level, and we want that to be a healthy rate or level in the case of urbanisation. The other meaning you'll get is the avoidance of the depletion of natural resources in order to maintain an ecological balance. Pretty wordy, hey. Essentially, what it's saying is if you think about urbanisation, we don't want to build so much that we destroy natural resources and start causing pollution. Okay, so that's why sustainability is such an important concept in geography. Will be successful. Your success criteria is to develop ideas about how to be sustainable in our local areas and to discuss and write about whether Australia should adopt more eco practices. So again, why are we doing this unit? Well, we're trying to teach you about the pros and cons of urbanisation. We're trying to arm you with knowledge about decisions for the future about where you'd like to live. Would you like to live in a city or more urbanised area, or would you prefer a rural area? You need to understand the pros and cons of both, the push and pull factors. But here it's also looking at if we urbanise areas, that is, we develop them, we build them, we develop infrastructure. How can we do it in a way that is sustainable and protects the environment as much as possible and keeps a healthy ecological balance? So again, this is very practical for you and your future. As you work through under the engage phase, there's a sustainability worksheet to complete about the environmental consequences of urbanisation. So again, even if you were to look up a country like China, some of the big cities over there, you can see there are a lot of people in the population wearing masks, and you can see that a lot of the photos in those big city centres, like Beijing, for example, are full of smog, full of pollution. And so for the Olympic Games, when Beijing ran them, they had to really clear out traffic and probably shut down a lot of uh, different industry in order to try and clear the pollution and increase the air quality before the athletes started arriving and competing. So look up some photos from a country like China and some of those major city centres to get a feel for the consequences of urbanisation insofar as the increase of pollution. Once you get to the explicit teaching, obviously you'll see this amazing video by myself, but then another activity for you to do is the sustainable practices. So you watch the teaching video below, 3 ways cities can build sustainability, and there's also some information from a website, 3 big ideas to achieve sustainability. Um, Under the targeted learning, there's a worksheet called How Can We Make a Difference? So again, this is really quite practical now. By this stage, you've kind of got your head around, pollution can be a side effect of urbanisation sometimes. Moving forward, what can we do as individuals? What can we do as a community? What can we do at a national level in order to protect and preserve the environment, protect and preserve the air quality, try and decrease pollution while increasing productivity, sustainability, all that sort of stuff. So that's a really, really practical and relevant worksheet for you to work through. In the review phase, there's what's called a sustainable features activity. So there's a photo that you need to look at, and you need to write down any of the sustainable features you can see in your workbooks. Now, I suggest that you really zoom in on the photo. You'll be able to take more away by doing that. But that's a good practical activity to kind of give you some ideas of what it might look like to live more sustainably. Again, to submit your work, you just need to scroll down to the bottom of the page. You can find the button that says submit, and you just need to highlight when you get to your submit work stage, sort of if you've done the approaching, the at or above, or the well above standard stuff. Your teacher will be able to provide you with feedback. Remember, this is the final sequence before the assessment task as well. So it's really important at this stage that you revise those key concepts and key vocabulary. Again, migration, internal migration, push factors, pull factors, population density, population distribution, livability, sustainability. Make sure you're comfortable with those terms. Make sure you're also comfortable with looking at graphs, looking at statistics, and pulling out the relevant data and understanding sort of causes and effects of things. Yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email your teacher or ask them in person if we're back at school by the stage you get to this. All the best. This is really practical for you. And yeah, enjoy. Cheers, guys. Bye.